What's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck here again. You guys can see who we have on the screen. We are going to dive into some Candace Owens and try to get some videos up where she's being debunked like crazy, left and right. So I'm going to start this off with one of the videos she did where she's mentioning the PBB, whatever, I think it's PDD podcast or something like that. And they basically just say flat out, hey, she hasn't been around. She hasn't done anything in a while. Now, she does have evidence that she did tour with Turning Point last year. But, I mean, what kind of communication and, friendship did you and Charlie have within the last year and a half since you went on that last tour? So they speak to some of the things that she's been saying. But before we get started, I want you guys to please hit that like button and subscribe to the Lady Luck Club. We are trying to hit 30,000 subs by the end of September. That is in now 2 days. Oh man, it's in 2 days. I am praying and pushing and believing that we can get to 30,000 subs in 2 days. Yes, miracles happen every day. Please share the content, like and subscribe to the content, and leave comments. Let me know your thoughts below about her dynamic with Eric Bowling and Bill Ackman, and just give me the backdrop on it because this is so confusing. But either way, let's get to it. Candace is just all over the place with this.
Don't just maybe guitar. In fact, you are the one, your administration is the one that has been under investigation for taking money from the Qataris. It was actually related to Gaza. And what you were going to do with Gaza thereafter. So why are you saying that about Americans? If we were taking money from Qatar, it wouldn't be a problem according to your administration and your cronies. So what's this about? I was so hopeful that you would be able to get through that speech without mentioning the Holocaust, but that was kind of the opening liner. Joseph Goebbels said, bro, Joseph Goebbels has nothing on the Zionists in America and the propaganda that they have pushed. I got to tell you, that's the reality. Okay. Let's go before him. Let's go to Sigmund Freud. How you guys created this system of propaganda. Who's the real father of modern propaganda? Okay. It's the Freud family. We're awake to this. We see what you guys are doing. And you're not making people feel comfortable with the fact that you keep.
I mean, bringing up Sigmund Freud, it does what to Charlie Kirk's death? See, Candace this whole time has been trying to somehow link this death to Israel and Netanyahu and all of these things. And it's just, you're not even in the same galaxy right now. She has not proven with any evidence how this leads back to, the Israeli prime minister in any way. What are you doing, Candace?
Keep coming out to have to deny something that certainly wasn't asserted by me on this program. And you're doubling down on your lie. I told you to publish the full letter that Charlie wrote you, not lines of it. Okay. It's a lie by omission. And to stop mentioning the fact that you invited him to Israel just 2 weeks ago without mentioning the fact that he declined to go. Am I lying? Can anybody actually work and assert that I am lying? You can say my name. Candace Owens lied. Charlie said, I'd love to go to Israel. Charlie said, I'd love to have you on my radio show. And for some reason, that seems to be a common theme, that they have sent the hounds out, but they're unable to actually dispute the words that are coming out of my mouth. You have Bill Ackman, extraordinarily, I said, I will publish whatever it is that you say, Bill. You can come on the program. We can talk about that trip to the Hamptons. He just kind of, which was, by the way, you guys on Instagram were so funny. I didn't even have to say anything. You guys just saw right through it because we're all awake. He just, I guess, shared text messages with Charlie Kirk to dispel the claims of, you see how it says blackmail in parentheses, but they put Israel. I never said Israel blackmailed him. I never said that. Okay. And in fact, somebody that was.
She didn't say that, but she implied that there was some compromising situations Charlie Kirk was in to where it came off like they were morally bribing him of some sort or blackmailing him, morally speaking. I mean, but blackmail is blackmail. So whether you're trying to morally blackmail someone or financially blackmail or however, you're still implying that he's being blackmailed. I mean, why say that word?
At the Hamptons, published a statement and said that Charlie said he felt morally blackmailed. Okay, so that doesn't help your case. But anyways, Bill Ackman published these private text messages, and I guess that just was supposed to dispel the idea that anything happened in the Hamptons. And yeah, actually what's missing from these messages are like a date, a context, and they don't dispel anything that I have asserted. Okay, so what's going on here? Then they trot this guy out, Eric Bowling. He goes on the PBD podcast, and this should be embarrassing. Like, the amount of lies coming out of this man's mouth was astounding. Okay, but they ran with the New York Post, right? Outfit of the Mossad, outfit of the deep state, ran with it.
I must be fair. I have no idea what PBD podcast is. I never really looked at the content from Turning Point or anything like that. Never kept up with it. So y'all have to let me know what this is about. Maybe just do a quick summary in the comments just to kind of give me a heads up on this, and who all of these key players are with PBD podcast and Charlie and Bill Ackman. Just, if you can leave some comments about that so I can have an understanding of it, that would be grateful. That would be very, very helpful, and I would be very, very grateful.
Charlie Kirk had a breakup with Candace Owens, like as if we were dating. Let's listen actually to what Eric Bolling had to say on the PBD podcast.
At some point, her credibility, is going to go down the tubes because she needs to bring receipts. Bill Ackman brought receipts. How long was that tweet?
It's still going. I think
he was there in the room. Andrew Colbert was there in the room. You're on the board of Turning Point?
Yeah.
Okay. When's the last time you saw Candace Owens?
In person?
Yeah.
2015,
2016. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah.
When's the last time she was at a Turning Point event?
Not in many years.
Okay.
But
so let's, without even being biased, is Candace even involved in Charlie Kirk's life at all?
No question, proof that Candace Owens has nothing to do. She would be in a perfect world if they didn't have this. What I already know was a very quiet breakup where she got too rabbit hole for him. She would be the logical heir to the TPUSA throne, but she's not.
Now she's not even invited.
Correct. So this is so their divide is.
Wait a minute, not invited meaning
she's not even there.
Yeah, she's not one of the names.
What, you don't think she'll be at the funeral?
No.
That's not the funeral.
The heir to the TPUSA throne.
She doesn't speak at the events anymore.
So that's just what it's so good for this to happen because you guys are.
And she wasn't at the funeral. And they're saying now there are 3 of them and 1 of her. I'm more inclined to believe the 3 people who have nothing to lose, except the fact that she did do a tour, to be fair, last year in 2024. But the question remains, when is the last time since July or August or whenever that was in 2024, where you last toured? When was the last time in between 2024 and today, September 28th, the year of our Lord 2025, where you, or leading up to 2 weeks ago when he passed, where you communicated with him, Candace? That's the problem. You stated yourself that his wife just started following you, which is, I believe it was the other way around. And then she stated in a separate video that she unfollowed everyone because of a book. Because she was releasing a book. So she just unfollowed everybody. You don't unfollow someone that you see as a brother and a best friend and everything else in between. And mind you, I can count on one hand how many times she's mentioned Erica Kirk. In all the videos she's done since Charlie's death, she has only spoken about Erica Kirk at least 4 times that I can recall. And some of those times may be in the same video. So this is the delusion she's on, and she gets mad when people debunk her. She won't even admit that she's wrong about the Macrons. At least she doesn't have evidence to show that this woman was born a woman versus a man. But yet she so easily calls everyone else a liar.
Watching everything that I'm saying, and you can watch them lie. Eric Bolling, I just don't even get this. How can you say that I have not spoken at a Turning Point USA conference in years when I literally went on tour with Turning Point USA on college campuses last year? Like that's just incredible. You didn't know that I went, I was on tour for Turning Point USA last year. You don't remember that happening at all. Okay. Then I get fired from the Daily Wire. Turning Point USA is the first to issue a Christ is King statement of support. Then I do what was the YWLS conference right after that. So let's just actually bring this in. What you are referring to, which is kind of a part of the story that we're telling you, is that the Zionists started circling Charlie and trying to control things. This was actually in the around September or whatever. And I was always very honest that Charlie and I had a conversation and they were putting pressure on, you can't talk to her. She's talking about Israel. Blah, blah, blah. Charlie, I am under so much fire right now. Do not even, I'm like radioactive. Don't even worry about the comment.
What does this have to do with Zionist stuff? I mean, just say that, you guys started to have 2 different beliefs when it came to Israel.
I have to rebuild my whole life. I have to figure out how to get my podcast back on the road. I literally, I'm banned from Australia because I stood up the Zionists. Like I have.
Sounds to me that she kind of blocked everybody out of her life, knowing that she was ruffling feathers, and they probably tried to talk to her. She's stubborn as hell. She said no, and they probably agreed to distance themselves because she's admitted that she blocked everyone because of a book. I highly doubt that she would still communicate with him after a whole year of touring and then not have those type of conversations about her views on Israel. But yet she can't produce a text message with a date and time stamp to show how recent it was since they last encountered each other and communicated with each other. This is insane.
Have so much going on. For me not to speak at AmpFest is nothing. Like, that doesn't even mean anything. Save yourself, okay? It means nothing to me. Tell them whatever you need them to tell them. And I'm going to focus on trying to rebuild my life because they also had me canceled from YouTube. Remember all that stuff last year? It was insane. Then I came back bigger and I came back stronger because at the end of the day, the truth will win against lies. That's the message. And so the reality is that then they came inward because that's what Zionists do. They started putting more pressure on him. And this time they didn't want just Candace Owens. It was Tucker Carlson because Tucker went to AmFest. And then they said that can't happen again either. And Charlie started realizing which way the wind was blowing. And in fact, in the very week that Charlie Kirk was assassinated, he was saying that he wanted me back on the roster. That's where his mindset was at. You cannot dispute any of this because it's real. This is then suddenly he gets a Shulman guy is the one that said, I want my name off of the building at Turning Point in the 48 hours leading up to his assassination, the couple of days leading up to his assassination. They were squeezing him, trying to control who he was allowed to speak to. And that started in real earnest, I can tell you, in Q4 of last year. People can look up and research and see that's not true. And that's your big LOL point. Like, oh, well, the proof of this is she's not speaking at Charlie's honoring Charlie event.
While she said she has to vet everything and make sure that it's true and valid. She literally just said, I have to vet everything to make sure that it's true and that it, is valid and makes sense.
I got a lot more that's going to come out about what happened at Turning Point. It wasn't just that. They were spiking the ball, where they were spending the money. It was almost like they just wanted to take over the company that he had built and turn it into just another outfit of the Mossad. Like that's the information that I have. And I want to make sure that I properly vet everything and go through everything. That's what it looks like. And it's going to come out. Okay. So
she got to properly vet and go through everything. And that's what it looks like. That's it. Is that her source? Her failure to properly vet and look through everything? Let's not forget, Candace Owens is not an investigator of any sort. She can read and research information, but she's not an investigator. And it seems like she's just trying to take over this whole investigation as if we don't have an FBI.
Your little talking points and the lies people can look up and research and see that's not true. And that's your big LOL point. Like, oh, well, the proof of this is she's not speaking at Charlie's honoring Charlie event in Arizona. And then they ask these questions. They're like, when's the last time you spoke to Erica? Have you attended a Charlie Kirk? What is it? Can you pull up the weird thing? Is they're all running with these talking points. This is what we got from the Daily Mail. Is she planning to attend his memorial service in Arizona? Was she asked to speak? Or did she ask to be a part of the program? Why would I ask to be a part? Like this is obviously Erica is in like full control. I would hope she's in full control, but I don't know because I'm hearing some stories about donors that are pushing things. But let's reopen that. More questions here. Has she attended any of the vigils for him? Is she planning to attend? Does she speak to Erica? When's the last time they spoke? Board member Eric Bowling, by the way, he's not a board member, but that would have been a good fact check for you, PBD, said that Charlie Kirk had a quiet breakup with Candace Owens after she got too far down the rabbit hole for him. Has there been any communication between? There hasn't been any communication between the two for many years. It's made up. It's just all made up. Okay, and like I said, the reason that they're doing this is because they
produced the documentation that you two have talked recently up until, the day he was shot. I mean, why don't you present some documentation to disprove that or debunk it? Because you just said you needed to get some documents vetted and looked through properly because you feel that's what it is. The fact that we can say the same thing about you is astounding to me.
Want us to stop investigating the death of Charlie Kirk. I'm convinced this is a full-blown Fed operation. I'm hearing about the pressure that's even happening with planning this event. They're trying to make it seem like, oh, but how dare she? Did you attend a vigil? Except for anything. No, actually, I didn't attend a vigil. And nope, you're right. You got me. I was not invited to speak alongside President Trump and JD Vance on the stage with Tucker Carlson at a memorial event. What does this
Yeah, she sounds big mad. Bigly mad. All you had to do was befriend his wife and be genuine about it. and she probably would have put you on the program somehow if you claim to be as close to him as you were. There is a reason why she was not following Erica Kirk this whole time, because she said herself that allegedly Erica Kirk just started following her 2 days ago, when other reports came out that Candace Owens started following Erica Kirk a couple days ago. So, you know, who's following who here? The bottom line is you weren't even friends with his wife. You weren't even following her on her social media. And this is the wife of the man that you claim to be a brother to you and your best friend. This is insane.
Have to do with anything? The answer is it has to do with nothing. They're working on a narrative like they always do. They're coming in, they're squeezing, and they're trying to pretend that Charlie and I didn't speak for years. It could not be further from the truth. Okay? Charlie and I never for a single second stopped being friends. Ever. Never happened. They can't produce one shred of evidence to that effect. Nope. Just donors. And the donors at Turning Point need to be investigated. Because what I'm hearing, like I said, from Turning Point sources.
Okay, who are you telling this to? Because Erica Kirk is now the CEO. What if she says, no, I don't think they need to be investigated at all? Then what? Candace, you have no power there at Turning Point. None. People are leaking information to you. At some point, Erica Kirk is going to put a crackdown on it. Because what you're doing is overstepping her authority. And what if she decides, I'm not investigating anybody? I don't know where you all got that from. Yo, well, Candace Owens told us that. I don't care about Candace Owens. She does not run this company. Maybe she's jealous that Erica Kirk is running the actual company. Or jealous at Erica Kirk. Who knows?
It's not good. And guess what? If it's got to be me and you need to hate me forever, that's totally fine. On top of that, talk about a federal operation out of nowhere. Brigitte Macron just lies. I don't even know how they got this in the press. This is so dumb. Brigitte Macron comes out and says they have offered scientific evidence to the U.S. court to prove that Brigitte is a woman. That's what her lawyer says.
That's too
well, the lawyer's a liar because we haven't even started this case yet. So how could you have offered scientific proof to a court to prove you're a woman, especially because you're not suing me over the claim that I said you were born a man. You were born a man. I guess you're born a boy.
Once again, she says you were born a man. This is something that I call hypocrisy. You just got on everyone else for lying on you, and you're still lying on Brigitte Macron with no scientific evidence. It said that they are to offer evidence. Candace, you got to read, girl. They are going to offer evidence. Macron's to offer evidence, meaning they're going to offer it in the future. They didn't give it to you yet, and I don't see the point in why they should give it to you right now, because you're just going to sit down and ignore it and debunk it like all the other evidence they've sent to you already. The photos, the birth announcement, you're going to ignore that just as fast as you ignored everything else. You literally act as if people owe you an explanation on everything in life, and it's getting out of control. This is absolutely insane. Where she failed to read, she's got a laptop in front of her, and she didn't take time to just read the header for 2 seconds to make sure she read every word.
Court to prove that Brigitte is a woman. That's what her lawyer says. Well, the lawyer's a liar because we haven't even started this case yet. So how could you have offered scientific proof to a court to prove you're a woman, especially because you're not suing me over the claim that I said you were born a man? You were born a man. Oh, I guess you're born a boy, a male is what I should say. You're born a male. And you've never sued anybody for making that statement. You sue for things around it. You're suing me because you're saying, well, you said I stole the identity from my sister. I'm not.
The first complaint on that lawsuit is that she stated she would stake her entire career on the fact that Brigitte Macron was born a man. And then goes and responds to the lawsuit once it's filed and went on a video on her podcast and said you were born a man and you will die a man. Now she's still saying you, because you were born a man, you've lied so much about that you're losing credibility on your own, Candace. This is absolutely absurd and it must stop. So, I'm just going to pause it right here. So since Candace wants to lie excessively about things, here is the court docket. Case number is N is in Nancy, 25, C is in cat, 07194. You guys see Macron versus Candace Owens et al. And if you go to the bottom here, this case started the moment the actual docket was entered and the actual lawsuit was filed. July 23rd, where the initial complaint was filed, that is what started the case. Candace, what has not happened is a hearing. So maybe you meant to say a hearing has not occurred, but the case has started going back to July 23rd of 2025. That's about a good 2-3 months ago. So where have you been this entire time other than lying about you not filing a motion to dismiss and then turn around and do just that? So you guys see here the affidavit that was filed on September 14th, where they basically submitted over exhibits and requested for the extension of the term and page limit to file their motion to dismiss with the actual opening brief. And you can see motion to dismiss was filed September 12th, along with the opening brief that was filed. Why is no one asking her, why did you lie on Tucker Carlson and say that you had no intentions on dismissing or seeking the dismissal of this case? When are the Candace Owens, the ones that are so brainwashed, when are you guys going to at least ask her that? Can you ask her why did you seek a dismissal? When you said on Tucker Carlson you would not seek a dismissal for the case. Why did you do this? Why would you lie, Candace? So this is what happens when you lie. You know, it's the little lies. Just like she said, it's the little lies that ends up becoming bigger lies. And that's something no one likes. And when you lie like that, you know, whatever happens to you, Candace, is what happens to you. Not that anyone wishes ill will on you. It's called accountability and judgment from God. You are flat out lying about a case. You're lying on a woman being born a man. You have lied about your so-called investigation with Charlie Kirk's death. And it's just sad. So you keep on at this rate, you're going to get yourself caught up. All right. So once again, another Candace conspiracy just being debunked all around. There's more to come. So tune in. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the Lady Luck Club, and check out the description of the video for the Dr. Squatch products. We have a partnership with Dr. Squatch. So for soap, deodorant, and toiletries, shaving cream, and fragrances that everyone in your family would love and enjoy, please make sure you check out the description of the video for the Dr. Squatch products that are tagged. I do receive a commission on the sales. So Christmas is coming around the corner. Let's go ahead and be a blessing to the channel and get it up to 30,000 supporters and get out some Dr. Squatch products for your loved ones. And I thank you guys for supporting me here in the Lady Luck Club. I cannot do it without you all. So thank you all so much. And until the next one, Lady Luck Club out. Deuces.